So most agents, they use open homes just to meet buyers. But the true and the best agents, what they do is they use open homes to help buyers, but also meet sellers. I've been to many open homes, and often the real estate agent is very standoffish. They don't want to get too involved with you, and that's not the way it should be done. So today we're going to talk with Nathan Najib about how he turns his Saturdays of open homes into future listings. Welcome back, Nathan.
Pleasure.
Now, at an open home, what's your goals when you're there?
But the goal is obviously to sell that house that's there, right?
Yeah.
And then you want to make the right impression. Make sure people that walk in through a property, they're impressed. They're greetable. They know that you're a decent human being. They're taking care of that property.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the main things. Obviously, sell the house.
Yeah.
And make sure people, when they walk in there, they feel comfortable and they feel like they're dealing with a good human.
And then when you're just chatting to the buyers and potentially like silent sellers, you never know. What's the conversations you're having with them?
Usually I'm there. Thankfully now I'm able to have, I've got me and my PA or one of my associates at open homes with me. But even when I didn't have back in the days, I'll always like get the details first of all with respect. And I'll ask them for full information. I'll talk about, when it comes to getting people's information diligently, I'll get their first name, their last name, their email address, and their address where they live.
Mm-hmm.
And some people don't like to share the address, and I'm okay with that. But I'll aim to get that from 90% of the people.
Yeah.
So that's what I tend to do when I'm at an open home. Like make sure I create a good impression. And we're dealing with human beings, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen agents on their phone not even engaging with buyers. I'm like, Jesus, can't believe it. And these agents may be doing quite good either. I'm thinking about man, you don't even see people. It's terrible.
Yeah, I've been to open homes where I don't know if they're taught to do this, but they won't even engage with you sometimes.
Yeah, and you think about what it's like. Gee, what's wrong with you? Maybe they had a big night the night before, but that's not good enough excuse to not engage with client with potential buyers or potential clients, right?
Yeah. And as a vendor, you want the person or your real estate agent to be interacting and getting as much detail as possible from them, getting feedback to them.
I feel like I think you know what it's like. People most in our industry, unfortunately, we just don't take this thing seriously. It's like when it comes to financial side of things, it's like somebody doing a heart surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to know, if I'm doing a heart surgery, mum had a heart surgery, I had to meet with a surgeon. I had to make sure everything was absolutely perfect. I know, make sure the surgeon knew how to do this operation very, very well, right? But when it comes to financial side of things, this is as important as a surgery for most people because this is their most expensive asset, right? And we need to, as agents, we need to treat it like that.
Yeah.
With respect, with integrity and with transparency. And if you do that, I can guarantee. Because unfortunately, in our industry, it's like another sale kind of thing.
Yeah.
And people don't care. So you stand out.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much to stand out in real estate industry.
Mm-hmm.
We need to just small little differences. You will stand out head and shoulder above the majority of agents. And our industry, unfortunately, we got a bad reputation. Is because of that. Because it just feels like, people don't care. People that listen to us, obviously, they're this, what I call the smart brigade. They're good, decent human beings. Otherwise, they won't be listening to us, right?
Yeah. You always say, potential people selling the home are going to the open homes to actually judge the real estate agent and to pick them for their future home to sell. Well, for their home to sell.
That's the byproduct of being present and actually taking care of people's most expensive asset, right? Treating with respect, right? Mm-hmm. So the business that you get off the back of the open home is the byproduct of being a decent human being.
Yeah. So after the open home, when you've got 90% of their details, what's the next step? What questions you were potentially asking the buyers Or if they wanted to sell, how do you find that out?
I want to go as far back as when I get the listing.
Okay.
So getting a listing is you make sure you get everything out of that listing. So that listing, ideally, want to convert it 3 more. So one of the things would be is like when I get the property listed. I don't do it now because I don't need to do it on social media, but I'll be talking on social media. Just this property listed, 3-bedroom house, 2 bathrooms, double car garage coming to the market. Just want to let you know before it goes to the market.
Yeah.
So a social media post. And then I'll door knock the neighborhood, at least a couple of streets. And then when it goes under contract, I'll do the same thing. When I get sold, I'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
So now coming back to the open home, how I'll treat the open home is like, there was research done. I think 1 out of 4 buyers that come through an open home, they're actually researching for a seller, for an agent to use, right?
Yeah.
So I'll make sure I'll build good rapport with people. I'll make sure I'm present. My phone is away. I'm not on my phone texting or looking through Facebook. And I've got my music on. I've got my candle on. I've got all my lights on. So the house looks like a show home. Excuse me. And then once I get people's information, all the information, I usually ask people when they're there. I want to build rapport with them, but I want to ask them questions. So I will say, like, how long you been looking for? They'll give me an answer, right? And then I'll say, how much you looking to spend? The reason I say how much you're looking to spend, because when you're negotiating with people are usually defensive. They don't give you the number when you're across, you got the contract with them, right?
Yeah.
So I ask them a question, how much you got to spend? I'm approved to X amount. Not everybody's going to tell you exactly how much, but some people will tell you, like, I'm approved up to X amount. Then I'll write a note, or my PA would write a note, like, that's how much they got to spend. So when I'm negotiating, I know that's how much they got, how much more I can get off them, from them, right?
Yeah.
That. And number 2 is like, if they've got a house to sell, then I'll follow them through, and then I'll put them in our database. I'll add them to a database, obviously, and then I'll add them as a potential seller. And then what I call a DNA, I attach DNA to them that reminds me about to call them for the next 90 days. Because once you find a potential seller, now you go to book an appraisal with them, right?
Yeah.
And if you've got so many of them added to your database, then it's inevitable you're gonna forget about them.
Yeah.
So being in touch with them for a long period of time to be able to book that meeting with them, and that's what great agents do. Most agents, majority, I like to think 95% agents won't do that diligently. But the best of the best that I know, and I've been lucky enough to be exposed to, they do exactly that.
And like, we'll talk about the database in our next podcast, but that's so important. Ensuring you're categorizing, you've got DNAs, as you say, which is action lists set up to follow up with them. I mean, recently there was a property in Kennedy's Bush, I believe. We listed that off the back of another listing. Do you want to quickly talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, these guys came through a property and they had already decided they're going to go with this agent. I'm like, yeah, okay, right. And I told Tammy exactly that. I said, you wait, it's going to be my listing. It's a beautiful house, $2.5 million house up in Kennedy's Bush, right? Yeah. And this other agent was one of the best agents in New Zealand. He's been around for a little while and he's great at what he does. But I told Tammy, I said, I'm going to get this listing. You see. We couldn't book the meeting. One open home. Once they come through one of the open homes, and then they want to come back again. We didn't do the meeting appraisal with them yet, but I'll keep in touch with him, keep in contact with him. And then in a couple of weeks' time, we booked an appraisal, got the listing.
Yeah.
And it's not because I talked to them once, but what was the first interaction like?
Yeah.
What was the follow-up like? What was the follow-through like? And this agent, they market every house the same way. I suggested them and this was, so it was an auction property. They auctioned this house. Like some agents, they just auction anything and everything, right? But this property was already auctioned. It's such a unique house. And most of the people who's going to buy this house is probably going to get 2 families coming together. So the conversation that I had with them was like, how the approach that we have, the strategy we have, we'll be able to do it better than anybody else. And I'll explain to them the strategy. Maybe we can talk about how I get listings moving forwards, another episode perhaps.
Yeah.
But it's the discipline to be able to first, when you're there, you've got the game on. I call it my open home day or Saturdays is the show day.
Yeah.
So I'm present, my car looks immaculate, my flags are up, my signs are up all around the neighborhood. So, and my PAs at the front getting people's names, I'm at the back connecting with people. So it's showed it, like, you come to one of our open houses, people like, I've never been to an open homes like this. So it starts from the minute that you meet with people, right?
Yeah. And first impressions.
100%. 100%. And I tell people, like, so you just go and have a look at somebody else's open home. You just go to any agent's open home and then come back to our open home. You compare it for yourself. And that takes, like, after 20 years, you get it perfect, right? And obviously we're refining it if we're going to what else we can do better. But you get it pretty good. But it takes consistency. You take the discipline to be able to keep on doing it all the time, right? And have a system around it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a system guy. Like, I'm a freak when it comes to systems. Like, everything has to be done the same way, like, every single time, right?
Yeah.
So I say is, like, if you do something more than once, you have to have a system. Because you've got to remember what you did, right?
Yeah.
You can have a checklist, so the open home looks exactly the same. The vendors get exactly the same treatment. All those things, and we've created this here. That's why I can hand on heart say an agent can come in here, we can double their business.
Mm-hmm.
You can, if you do exactly what we tell you to do, Bowie, we double your business. If we don't, you can have your money back.
Yeah.
and if we don't help you do $1 million in first year and you do exactly what I told you to do, you can have your money back.
Yeah. There you go. Join us. You'll make $1 million first year. Promised. But the open homes, we've put this together all for you. World-class open homes, as Nathan says, it's showtime. So there's a checklist. We show you, we've got a 1-hour course showing you how we do it. So make sure you get the link in the bio. It's all free to you to use and create amazing open homes.
And remember, Bowie, though, like, the thing is limited here. Like, we haven't got space like every other agency can put people over top of each other, right? So the space is limited. Probably going to hire, how many more agents you want to hire for the rest of the year?
I think we probably want about 12.
Okay,
more.
so 12 agents and that's it.
That's it.
So
we want world-class agents. We don't want a glut of 100 agents and only 10 performing. So
never. Yeah.
That's the goal. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one, how to build your database and how to nurture your database. Thanks for listening.